Peace, peace. What's happening? What's the word? How everybody feeling on this wonderful Monday? Hopefully everybody feeling positive, powerful, productive, peaceful, healthy, all that good stuff, man. I'm gonna give y'all about 3 to 5 minutes to tap in with the kid. Let me know how y'all living and feeling before we dive into this subject matter for the day, man. So let me know what's the word. Hey, Serpent X, peace. What's happening, man? Everything is smooth my way, can't complain. IBR 15, peace. What's happening? What's the word? How we living and feeling on this wonderful Monday afternoon? Tapping in, man. We ready to build. Got a sermon on deck. Dealing with insecurity, man. Magic Realms, peace. What's happening with you, my brother? What's the word? Javon, peace. What's happening? What's the word? Oh, man, I gotta change the screen. Hold up. Change the screen out here. All right, there we go. Patrick, peace. What's happening? Beast by Bless on out. What's happening? What's the word? How everybody living? How everybody feeling? Y'all see, I got the wrist taped up. Just worked out earlier. Y'all know how I go. Got my workout in. Got a smoothie in. Got some water in my system, so we good. Hopefully y'all staying healthy and hydrated and all that good stuff, man. CC, what's happening, my good sister? What's the word? Like I say, hopefully y'all taking care of yourselves out here, man, for real. It's a wicked world out here, man. It's wicked. You not looking out for yourself, trust me. These other folks not doing it, man. So I hope y'all taking care of yourselves out here, man, doing what's required and what's necessary. But what's the word, man? How y'all living? How y'all feeling? What's happening? Let me know. Let me know something on this Monday. What they say? Tell me something good. Mr. DJ, peace. Appreciate that cash out. What they say? Tell me something good. What's the science, man? How y'all living, man? Tell me something good. Let me know something good. You know, we always tapping in to the negative news. Somebody let me know something good. What's happening? We breathing, we functioning, we able to tap in. So hey, those some positives right off the bat. You know, my eyes functioning a little bit. Hey, I might not have the best vision, but they functioning. I can see. You know, I got both my arms, both my legs, all that good stuff, man. What y'all grateful for? Hey, truth, peace. What's happening? Hey, Jackson. Hey, I got peoples all throughout Jackson, man. I got uncle that's a pastor out there in Jackson. I was just out that way last month. Just out that way. Shout out to my people in Jackson. Shout out to my people in Mississippi in general. Y'all know it's my second crib, Mississippi. Shout out to my peoples. Shout out to my Mississippi folk, though. Corey, peace. What's happening? What's happening? You say been working out more, still got work to do. Always got work to do. Always got work to do. Hey, Magic, there we go. Hey, I'm always striving to get my sleep schedule on point. Always. That's my worst. That's my biggest problem as far as my health. I got everything else down pat with that sleep. I'll be just having to make sure I get enough sleep for sure. IBR, man. Hey, another day. Another day that we have the ability to make it better than the day before. So whatever happened to you yesterday, whatever happened on Sunday, hey, it's a new day. You woke up, now you got a chance to make it a better day than what happened to you yesterday. It is what it is. Truth me, hey, I'm trying to tell you, I'll be up and through Jackson. Don't play with me now. But yeah, I got my uncle. Like the town that my family is from, we about an hour from Jackson, I believe. About an hour or so. So yeah, man, I be up and down Jackson. Got another cousin. She's a teacher in Jackson. She's like right outside of Jackson though. But yeah, I'm all familiar with Jackson. Shoot, I almost went to Jackson State. Got a bunch of cousins that went there. The black intellectual, what's happening? You say you getting that protein up? Let's get it. Hey, I'm glad to see folks out here talking about health, man. Let's get it. Because like I told y'all, the upload I did, it's wicked out here, man. So y'all better make sure y'all putting the right things into y'all systems for sure. Like for sure, y'all better make sure y'all putting the right foods in y'all system, man. It ain't no joke, man. You know, it's not a joke. Like y'all better stop taking that for granted. Stop taking it for granted, man. Stop playing around. Stop playing around. Man, at least 80% of what you put in your system from a food perspective should be foods that you need. You still got 20% to mess around. You still got a little 20%, and I'm being generous with that. You know, really should be 100%, but I'm gonna be generous. 80-20 rule. That applies to everything. 80% of what you consume. Make sure it's right and exact. Make sure it's serving a purpose. Make sure it's benefiting the body. Make sure it's benefiting the mind. Again, you got 20% that you can play around with. But we reverse that. It's 80% all BS, 20% decent food. And I don't even think it'd be 20% decent food these days. We might be more 95-5, man. We not eating what we need to be eating. Fetty, what's happening? Oh, Camden, for sure. I know all about. Yeah, man. Come on now. But yeah. Sleep. That's my issue. You know, it ain't even no. I just don't be wanting to go to sleep. I'd rather be up working, doing something. You know, so I be having to just try to force myself to sleep. You know, Glow. What's happening? What's happening? Peace. What's happening? But yeah, man, we got to be mindful of what we putting into our bodies, man, for real. Because it's wicked out here, man. They are hitting us from a lot of different angles in regards to how they destroying the mind and the body. So, hey, we got to put the proper fuel in our bodies, man, and they to be able to combat what they doing, what's going on out here, you know. And a lot of us are self-destructive, or we self-destructing because of what we are choosing to consume. Blaze, what's happening? Man, Glow, I tell everybody this in regards to marijuana, you know, because I don't smoke, but I just tell people as long as it's not impeding or hindering your progress in life, then by all means, at least make sure you're getting it from a quality source. That's first and foremost, because they got a lot of, you know, they got a lot of bad marijuana out here, you know, so make sure you're getting it from a good quality source. And as long as it's not hindering your progress and your elevation out here, I ain't got no problems with it. You know, I got problems with the alcohol, with that realm. That's where I have a problem. I don't like that. That causes more problems than the marijuana of good quality. You know, but when you using it as a crutch, when you become dependent upon the marijuana, when you think that you need it to function and do certain things, then that's when I start having a problem. You know, if you just want to use it for medicinal purposes and things like that, or just to chill out sometimes, that's cool. But when you start thinking that you need something like that to function, then now it's become a problem and it's handicapping. That's when I draw the line. When you become dependent upon it to function, now we have a problem, a big problem, you know. Akuma, what's happening? But man, we got people tapped in, man. We gonna get into the subject matter at hand, which is power of insecurity. You know, I done been having a lot of conversations over the weeks about insecurity and how it hinders a lot of people and how a lot of people unknowingly or unconsciously deal with insecurity, especially men, especially black men. A lot of black men won't even admit that they have insecurities or that they are insecure. You know, a lot of us are dealing with it unconsciously, and it's a problem, especially in the black community, especially amongst our women, especially amongst our men. But the women, more so than the men, will at least admit that they might be dealing with some insecurities. Well, at least back in the day they did. Nowadays, nobody likes to admit anything about themselves these days. You know, but a lot of us suffer from insecurities, whether it be insecurities in regard to looks or appearance, or just insecurity stemming from like ability, just being able to do something. Whichever path you take, a lot of us are dealing with insecurities. You know, a lot of us grew up, a lot of people wasn't striving to go after us from an appearance standpoint, from a look standpoint, and that turned us into an adult with insecurities, and it lowered the self-esteem, lowered the confidence, and all that type of good stuff. A lot of us may have been that child. You probably wasn't good at sports, or you wasn't the brightest in the room, and that created an insecurity, you know, and that lowered your self-esteem, lowered your confidence. Either way you look at it, whichever insecurity you're dealing with, whichever way you're dealing with it, It affected you to this day if you haven't done anything about it. So when you come across a person that has low self-esteem, low confidence, all that type of good, all that type of good stuff, all that type of bad stuff, then you're dealing with somebody that's dealing with some insecurities deep down. But you got to get to the bottom of it. Kinga, what's happening? You got to get to the bottom of it, because a lot of people will not admit that out the gate, that they have an insecurity. So you have to keep tapping in with that person, asking them question after question, so you can get to the root of the confidence issue, of the self-esteem issue. And then we cannot ignore the systemic or the systematic ramifications behind our insecurity as Black people, and how it was designed for us to be insecure. Again, we all grew up in this westernized educational system for the most part, and we read the textbooks. We were looking at the textbooks, and we were not seeing a lot of images of Black people doing powerful things. For the most part, we are seeing images of Black people being enslaved, being lesser than, being inferior. So that messes with you. That messes with your self-esteem and your confidence when you see that. When you just see people who look like you being highlighted in a negative fashion, then what you gonna think about yourself? When you look in the mirror and your complexion is a reflection of their complexion, and the only thing that you see in regards to their depiction is them being inferior, being enslaved, being unintelligent, and all of that. How do you think that's going to impact the mind of a child? And they knew this, and they know this. And that's why they do what they do through the media, through the educational system, and things along those lines. They portray us in the worst of lights, so they can tap in to our insecurities. It can make us more insecure. They can tell you that the image of somebody like me, like embracing my hair, like I'm walking around with an afro in the 5th grade, 6th grade. Well, they done made Black people look at the afro, look at locks a certain type of way in a negative light. So they make you look at my hair, oh, you got that nappy hair, as a derogatory term. So now I'm getting made fun of. I'm getting talked about for embracing my nappy hair. When in reality, I got good hair. I got the greatest hair. But they flip the script. So when you are a child and you are embracing that nappy look, you get talked about, when really that's the greatest look. That look should be embraced. That look should be applauded and appreciated, but it's not. It's in reverse, because they control the media, they control the narrative. So they got all these kids looking at you like, oh, your hair nappy, this, that, and the third, as a derogatory term, when really it's not. But when I'm in the 5th grade, I'm not understanding that. I'm not having that knowledge. So I'm getting upset when they talking about my hair being nappy. I'm ready to fight. I'm trying to put all the stuff in my hair to make it a little bit better than what it is, not realizing that I got the greatest hair on the planet. I ain't realizing that in the 5th grade because I'm not having this knowledge. So we got to start educating. Hey, we got to educate babies young so they can understand things like that, or they can know things like that for real. Locks in, what's happening? Yeah, definitely was embedded in the psyche. Some of us came out the womb with insecurities, man. And what's messed up is, in this day and age, what you're starting to see a lot of the times, man, especially with social media, you starting to see a lot of these insecurities being projected into these children from these adults. And it's sickening. Some of these adults, man, they living vicariously through their kids, and it's disgusting. It is disgusting, man. It is disgusting. Like, that's what I'm starting to notice on social media. They are literally living vicariously through their children, man. So they got their children doing things at 4 and 5. Like, it's just sickening, man. It's sickening. It's sickening. It's sickening, and I'm starting to realize that more and more, man. Like, they got these kids, they got 3, 4, 5-year-old kids all on social media. You know what I mean? Like, all on it, just exposing their kids early, living through them. living through them, man. And it's just unnecessary, man. It's unnecessary. You know, I was fortunate enough to come up as a kid without social media. So I can tell you how good that life was. Just being able to be 7, 8, 9, 10 with no social media, not having to worry about that, not having to worry about everything being filmed, not having to worry about pulling your phones out at 9 and 10, filming. Like you ain't have to worry about all that. You was able to just have fun. You was able to just have fun. You was able to just live your life. You didn't have to worry about your peoples putting you on Instagram or TikTok. You ain't have to worry about any of that, man. We was able to go outside. We was able to do what we did and just have fun, just live in the moment. We wasn't about to do something like, hold on, before we do this, let's put out this phone so we can put it on TikTok and try to go viral real quick. So you try to think of the craziest thing you can do so you can go viral, upload it on TikTok or something. Man, we wasn't living like that. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to have grown up like that, you know, and I appreciate that because I see the way these kids growing up now, man, before they able to talk, walk, and all that, they got a social media presence. And it's crazy. It's crazy. CC for sure. Like what my brother Malcolm say, who taught you to hate yourself? You know? who taught you that? Who taught you to hate yourself? Like that's the question that Malcolm X asked. It's the question that brother Malcolm asked, and it still reigns true today. Who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught you to hate yourself for real? Hey, King, everybody want to be everybody wants to be like the original people of the planet Earth except us. I say that all the time. Everybody wants to be like black people except black people. We the ones that don't want to be like ourselves. Everybody else emulates us. Everybody else copies us except us. Like we don't want to be like ourselves. And that's the crazy part. Everybody else understands the greatness, but this is by design though. So I know why this is happening. But everybody else strives to be like us. Everybody else strives for our greatness, but us. But this was by design though. This is by design. You know, everybody embraces what we do, but us. Everybody wants the black dollar, but us. Like, you know, that's how it is. Unfortunately. Yeah, y'all already know I'm like the CEO of Locke University. You know, it's been about 20 years, man, since I done had the locks, but I was growing my hair before that. Told you I started growing my hair out, and I when I started growing my hair out, I was fighting to grow my hair out before then. Like I always wanted to grow my hair out, but I was having to fight with my peoples, man. They did not want me to grow my hair out for reasons y'all already know. So I started to grow my hair out in the 5th grade, you know, but I was trying to grow my hair out way before then. So I always wanted to walk around with some hair, you know, but I started officially in the 5th grade. So I done had hair on my head since the 5th grade, you know. So I didn't have hair on my head most of my life. Like straight up. Y'all already know, and it ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna change. I didn't have locks for a very long time, and y'all see the locks stay in good condition. Hey, I was made for the locks. The locks was made for me. And they can't make me hate my image. They can't make I'm not cutting my hair for anybody. If I cut my hair, it's because I decided to cut my hair, you know, for real. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to, or I wanted to grow my hair, you know. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to grow. Like, man, listen, this represents growth for me, you know. I've been growing right along with my locks. You know, I didn't have these in my head for about 20 plus years. And it represents growth, man. It represents wisdom for me, man. So this is a personal situation, you know, and ain't nobody, I'm not cutting these for anybody. It's not happening. Like, it's not happening. And they've tried. And I just saw the article where the young bull took him to court. when they was trying to suspend him or whatever for school because his hair was too long. What was that? Texas? I forgot where that was at. But I just saw the article. I think he lost the lawsuit. But it's crazy. I'm like, man, I went through that way back when. So I can relate to that struggle. I didn't take him to court though. But I ain't cut my hair either though. You know, but I relate to that, man. But I read that article, man. Like he took him to court, but he lost. It said it didn't violate the Crown Act or something like that. At least that's what I was reading. So it's 2024, and we still got young black brothers going to court because they making rules that they can't have hair past their collars, and people be wondering why I still talk the way that I talk. This is still happening. That shouldn't even be a thing. It shouldn't even be a thing, and we wonder why all the young brothers be having the mental issues that they have. Like young bull probably just trying to go to school and they bothering him because his hair is long. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. I'm just trying to go to school, man. I'm not a troublemaker. I'm not causing trouble amongst righteous folks. I'm not doing anything but trying to go to school. And y'all trying to, you know, criminalize me because my hair is long. In 2024, in the 2020s, you know, this is still happening. Shouldn't be stuff like this shouldn't be happening according to the progress that folks telling me that we making. If we making all this progress, why is that still happening? We can accept people for, listen, we can accept, it's 2024. We can accept people for being homosexual. We can accept the fact that a 12-year-old boy woke up and identified as a girl. We can accept people getting sex changes. We can accept people making love to animals, but we can't accept a young black man wanting to grow his hair out? Come on, man. That same school would accept all them kids, all them folks that I just mentioned, but a brother that is growing his hair out and is past his collar, he gonna get suspended. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. But we can accept any and everybody else, but y'all can't accept me because my hair is long. That's wild. That's why, like, we gotta have a community, a lock community. You know, like they got the LGB and the Alpha. We gotta have one for locks. That, you know, we still gotta have it. We still gotta have it. We gotta fight for our rights for having locks. It's crazy. Crazy. Like that's what we gotta be dealing with. Just unnecessary struggles, man. That's unnecessary. That's unnecessary, man, for us to have to be going through that. You know, and that's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I know about that struggle, and I know how struggles like that as a young bull can affect the mental. Trying to tell you, man, a lot of our problems that we have just mentally, emotionally, and all of that today, as the studies will tell you, stems from the childhood. Stems from the childhood, man. Childhood traumas. And a lot of us haven't really sat and dealt with what happened to us back in the day. And we don't even realize how that has impacted our character, personality today as an adult. For real, man, when you really start tapping into some of your traits as a person, you can track them all down to your childhood, man. Like you didn't just wake up at 21, 22, whenever you consider yourself to be an adult. You didn't just wake up that day and just delete everything that happened to you as a kid and just become an adult with an adult mindset, with a wise mindset. Like that didn't happen. That did not happen at all. And for some reason, some people think that that's what's happening, or that's what happened. You know, nah, it ain't work like that. You know, it don't work like that at all. You ain't just wake up at 25 and just become wise and leave all the stuff that happened in your childhood right there. Nah, it don't work like that, man. When you analyze your energy, man, when you analyze your character traits, your personality traits, pretty sure they have some origin in your childhood. Pretty sure. If you deal with anger, pretty sure that got something to do with your childhood, man. Insecurity, Pretty sure it has something to do with the childhood. Depression, pretty sure that has something to do with the childhood. Whatever it is you battle, whatever it is you deal with, even the bright side of your personality. You know, if you joke a lot, pretty sure that started from the childhood. Pretty sure that stems from that. If you just wanted to, you know, got that bubbly personality, pretty sure that has something to do. Pretty sure that started off in your childhood. You didn't just become an adult and then became bubbly. Like, no, this is something that started when you was 5 or 6. You know, for real. Man, I get people hit me up. Like, hey, when you speak things into the universe, man, it's crazy how you receive it instantly. You know, when you set your intentions right, you know, stuff be happening. It be crazy out here. Kingra, man, you already know, man. I'm gonna keep streaming, keep making videos until I see these communities form. Hey, this is part of me doing my justice, doing my duty. This is part of me doing my duty for sure. You know, this is virtual teaching. You know what I mean? Virtual teaching. Gotta start somewhere, man. But for real, man, we really need to get on that. You know, we really need to get on that. We really need to get on it for real, man. We didn't talk about it enough, man, but we really got to get on it and create that village, create that community, or create communities and villages, you know, because we are tribal people, you know, so we always operate and run in tribes, you know. So we just got to start, we create our communities. We still got tribes now, but the tribes are a little bit more destructive than productive. So we just got to redirect some of this energy. Glow, yeah, I'm very familiar with that. Very familiar with that theory. And that's sometimes how I transfer some of the anger into a, man, I'm getting all type of contacts right now. But yeah, that's how sometimes I just transfer that anger into a productive outlet, something productive, which is what I tell people when it comes to that type of energy. Like, I don't necessarily like to label those things as good or bad, because you can take some of that and make it useful. So you can take your anger, direct it in the right direction. And it's a book, man. I forgot what the book was called. They made a reference of righteous rage. You know, so you can take that rage, channel it in the right direction, and make good use out of it. You know, so anger in and of itself is not necessarily something that's bad. It's how you direct it, where you direct it. You know, some of the greatest works as far as like entertainment, just music, all of that stems from people being depressed and angry. You know, so they took the depression and they made songs out of it, they made music out of it. You know, so it could be therapeutic. It could be therapeutic depending on how you direct it. You know, so it's cool to be angry as long as you direct it in the proper direction. You know, I go work out, I go hit the heavy bag. All right, whatever the case. When I feel that anger stemming up, if I don't do those things, then I'm probably going to channel it in the wrong direction. And that's when I become self destructive. So it's all about how you channel this energy when it comes across. Like, even with depression, you know, ain't nothing necessarily wrong with it as long as you don't get stuck there. And as long as you take that energy and use it as some type of inspiration and motivation, which you can. Whatever it is you depressed about, you not alone, man. Write something about it. Create art out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. That's a game changer. Embrace that energy and create art out of it. Some of the best music on the planet. I listen to these artists, so I know these are some of my favorite artists. You know, severely depressed. They made art out, and some of them didn't even beat it. Some of them weren't even able to defeat it, even while making the art. You know, but we got to learn from that. Like Phyllis Hyman, man, that woman could sing. Bipolar depressed, created some of the best music on the planet though. In that state of mind, you know, that's what you just got to do. Create art out of it. Don't let it consume you. You know, don't let it consume you. Don't let it consume you. Don't let it consume you at all. I never get stuck in those states. I use everything as motivation, inspiration, and just like a lesson, So I just extract lessons and the best part from everything when I come across it. That's how I do it. Trappers, you say 21-year-old trying to grow his hair out. Hey, all I can tell you is start growing, man. I ain't really do nothing special. I just started growing my hair out. Now the thing that I did do back in the day, man, because I used to have, this lady do my hair back in the day that does my mom's hair now. And was doing my mom's hair back then. I don't know what she was putting in my hair, like I don't even know, but I'm pretty sure it was, good quality products. But I can say one thing that made my hair grow was when I started getting, because I started off with the fro, and when I started getting my hair braided, then obviously that's when it actually grew. And then from that moment, that's when I locked it up. So I went about a whole year and some change just getting my hair braided. Next thing you know, man, I had one of them Bone Thug and Harmony fros. Fro was out there. And then I got it locked from there. Well, I got two strands. I had a whole different style, but that grew my hair out, man. Just getting it braided for about a year and some change, man. My fro, I had a Kobe Bryant fro for the longest. Y'all know Kobe Bryant, his fro didn't grow at all. When he had that grow in his plant, when he had that fro in his playing days, fro didn't move. That was my fro for the longest. And I was getting it braided, then that fro took off. Then I locked up the year after that, after I had been getting braids for like a year and some change. Other than that, all I can tell you, man, is take care of that joint. Eat right. Eating right is crucial for your hair growth, especially as a brother. Just make sure you're eating right, getting them fruits and veggies in. That's all I do, man. I eat the right foods. That's it. I exercise. I ain't got no other tricks. People think got a crazy hair routine, man. I just eat right. Literally, I don't know what. Nothing else. I just eat right, and that's it. Like straight up, eating right is what got me. Is what got my hair to being as healthy as it is. Eating right. Of course, with some products, man. But for the most part, it's what I'm eating, because I ain't putting products in my hair every day. But I'm eating some every day. Like I'm eating every day. So I ain't using product. I ain't getting my hair retwisted every day, man. So like that ain't happening. I'm going months before I get something retwisted for sure. But I'm eating every day though. And then I would also say, like when you get locks and whatnot, don't be getting it retwisted all the time, man, and getting all them styles, man. That's gonna push your wig back. You gotta let that joint nap up. Brothers be trying to look. They be trying to be too cute out here. Nah, I let my hair nap up. I let it nap up. I ain't finna keep getting it braided, pushed all the way to the back. Next thing you know, lining all the way back here. Nah, I don't do that. I don't do none of that. I had to get styles back in the day when I was trying to beat that rule at my high school. So I had to get my hair braided and pent up in the back so my hair wouldn't go past my collar. It's crazy that I even have to say that. It's crazy that I had to even go through that. But that's when I was getting styles because I was forced to. Because I wasn't cutting my hair. So I had to get my hair braided back then and pent up in the back. That was the only time where I was getting my hair like braided or getting a style consistently. Other than that, man, I might get these, or I'm letting my hair rock. I'm letting my hair rock, but I let my hair nap up. I go months. Like I'm going months without getting my hair. This gotta be a special occasion. You wash that thing, keep it moving. Hey Khalil, peace, what's happening? For real. And that's but that's a part that's a part of my childhood, which is crazy because now the look is kind of in. But when I was embracing this look, man, it wasn't the most popular look. When I was, being a dark skinned brother or young brother at the time with nappy hair, man, we wasn't in. See, I was coming up. The little girls at the time, they wanted the light skinned fella with the good hair, air quote. That was what was in at the time when I was a young boy. So when you were lighter skinned, And y'all already know how this go. Willie Lynch type vibes, man. The dark skin, light skin. You know, I put that in the song. Our dark skin versus light skin. Brothers don't like to be black. But yeah, that didn't been a thing for a very long time. You know, y'all done read the Willie Lynch letter and all of that good stuff. And it's real. And it's crazy as a kid, you know, as it's childish, whatever the case. Man, but you would think, and I guess this is my problem for thinking, but you would think, you know, we done became adults. People don't live like that, man. People, but again, it started off childhood and now it carried on over to adulthood. Folks still be talking like that mid 30s and 40s. Still be talking about it. Hey, Ham on the track. Peace, peace. What's happening? For sure. Appreciate that. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. 35, 40, and we still talking about light skin versus dark skin, stuff like that. But it don't surprise me because it stems from the childhood. It stems from the childhood, fam. Just another tactic to keep us divided, to keep us at odds, and keep us at war with one another. And that was big back when I was growing up, man. I was the prototype dark skin with the nappy hair. Fortunately for me, though, I didn't get extra caught up in it. I just took my L's and it just made me feel some type of way. But I never wanted to really like change my image to the point where I was Malcolm Xing out here. Like, yeah, I put the Afro sheen in my joint, but I wasn't really trying to straighten my hair out like that, You know, I was just like, man, I'm put this Afro sheen into something, you know. But for the most part, man, I rocked out with the fro, then got the braids, then locked it up, and I just evolved. But for the most part, especially with our sisters, like they try to change up their whole image. And they try to, hey, whatever the European standard of beauty, which is the trick they play on you. You know, they give the sisters this European standard of beauty. Oh wow, they are actually chasing the black standard of beauty. The white women are. And that's the crazy part. So they giving you this European image of beauty, this European standard. They got you chasing that, but behind the scenes, they really chasing how you look so that they can replace you. You know, and it's crazy. That's the game that they play. So they have our sisters doing a lot of this stuff, and this has led to many arguments in black households because I didn't been a part of them and I didn't seen them. But you can't convince some of these sisters that some of the things that they are doing is because of self-hatred. You can't convince some of these sisters that they putting on all this makeup because of self-hatred. They think they putting on all of this makeup because they just like playing with makeup. Nah, man, some of that is deeply rooted in self-hatred. No matter how fun you think this makeup is, for real, you got to get to the origin of why you doing some of this stuff, man. You didn't try to justify and rationalize it in your mind, but deep down, the real reason at its core is because of self-hatred. You can't tell them that, though. You can't tell them that they walking around with some of these weaves and all that because of self-hatred. You can't tell them that. They gonna argue with you up and down to the point where I don't even tell them that. I don't even talk about it anymore. I don't even talk about it. Get tired of that argument. You know, get tired of that argument because they not gonna see the time of day, and you can't tell them nothing as a man about themselves, but they can tell you everything about yourself as a woman talking to a man. You know, for real. You can't tell them that. You might as well pull out boxing gloves and box them once you start talking like that. Straight up. Once you even suggest that, hey, you might be wearing all this makeup because of self-hatred, because of an insecurity. You might be wearing all this weave, all these weaves and these wigs because of self-hatred, because of insecurity. They're gonna tell you nope. They're gonna tell you flat out, nope. Okay. So I leave it alone. I've left that alone. Been in them arguments, seen them arguments play out. It's no point. No point. Harsh reality. But again, they will tell us about ourselves. They'll tell us why we doing certain things. No, with no problem. They'll tell us why we doing certain things with no problem. But we can't tell them that though. And some of us are just saying like we just embrace the natural look. That's it. But hey, Uniquely meditative, man. I already know. A lot of doors close right in my face because of the length of my hair applying for certain positions and jobs. So I had to create my own opportunity. Glow for sure. Hey, I relate to that because my people's never really wanted me to have hair in the first place. So I'm going. So just imagine that. I started growing my hair out in the 5th grade. My people's never really wanted me to grow my hair out. Then I get to high school. I transfer high schools my sophomore year. Then the junior year, after I'd been there a year, they make a rule saying we can't have hair past our collars. So just imagine how my people's feel. Like they looking at me like I told you so. And I still didn't cut my hair. So just imagine that. Imagine that energy. Like imagine energy in my household from my sophomore year to when I graduated, trying to fight the system and dealing with a household that never wanted me to have hair in the first place. And they pretty much looking at me with that I told you so energy. And I'm still rebelling. I'm still not cutting. I got to work with the beautician and figure this out. Because y'all don't want me to have the hair anyway. So y'all ain't going to be helpful. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was going through. My own the people wasn't helping me because they didn't want me to have it. So I couldn't go to the crib. I couldn't vent to my parents because they didn't want me to have hair in the first place. So I fought that. I fought that all by myself with the help of that beautician. As far as just from a mental and emotional standpoint, I ain't really had nobody that had my back on that type of time back then. I had to go through that solo dolo. I had to deal with that racism solo dolo with no backing other than the beautician. Like, man, we gonna figure something out. Man, man, listen. I was ready to do some things to some of them folks. I ain't even gonna lie. I am not even gonna lie. Like some of the energy I gave to some of them cats at some of them old folks at that school, it's crazy. You know, man, wow. Man, uniquely, man. I'm trying to, and older black men are like the worst. They were like the worst. What the kids say now, the ops, like older black men, the elder black men back when I started growing my locks out were my ops. It was crazy. They were my ops, fam. Like they were my ops. I couldn't stand them. That's some of the most Sambo-ish type of advice that I was ever getting in my life came from elder black men, and I still to this day can't stand that. Hey Jeff, what's happening? Both of the Jeffs, what's happening? Peace. And I talk about this all the time. Some of the worst advice, some of the most sell outish advice that I've ever received in my life has come from older black men. I'm talking about basically bow down and just do what they tell you type of advice. It has come from older black men. There's no way. Like they used to infuriate me. Like, man, as a man, why are you giving another young brother this type of advice to basically bow down and accept what they giving you? Man, I couldn't stand that. I couldn't stand that. I was like, man, y'all weak, y'all soft, and y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Malcolm X turn around his grave with some of this nonsense y'all on. Man, it ain't nothing, y'all. It ain't nothing we could do about it. So you might as well just cut your hair and whoopty whoop. That's the advice you got for me. That's the advice you got for me. That's what you telling a young brother. Nothing you can do. You might as well do what Master say. And you don't see nothing wrong with it. Now, some of us are about change. Some of us are a little bit stronger than that. Some of us are a little bit more powerful than that. Some of us ain't bowing down. Some of us gonna create change one way or another, whether we gotta force it or whether it happens naturally. Some of us gonna create some type of change. Some of us gonna shift the narrative. Some of us ain't bowing down. Some of us ain't weak like that. That's a weak mindset, some weak advice. If you got a brother that is not causing harm or destruction out here, you know, and just trying to educate, you know, you can see that he intelligent, got his head on straight. He just want to be himself and embrace himself. The only thing you should do is support that brother and have his back. You should not try to get him to be other than who he wants to be, who he is. You should not be giving him that advice as a man. You shouldn't be doing that when he's not doing anything destructive. When he had found his look, you know, and he's embracing this look, and he's not doing anything harmful to anybody, you should not be telling him to change that look if he's not causing harm. Especially when you're not out here talking to the brothers that's actually causing harm. Nah. Nah, we ain't going like that. I ain't never going. I ain't never going. And when they used to give me that garbage advice back in the, man, I was spoken. So I always had something to say. I always had something to say. I'm sorry that I'm not weak like you. I will never be that weak. I will never be that weak. Straight up. We stand for something, right? I stand for something. You know, it's the principle. See that, you know, I got something that I stand for. Principles, man. Not about to just be I'm not about to just be doing something just because they tell me to. If it ain't got anything to do, you know what I'm saying, with anything, I'm not about to go for it, man. I'm not about to just do all that's because they said so. How is this harming you? How is this affecting you? How is this impacting you? If it's not, then not. My locks are not affecting you. My locks are not hindering your ability to do your job, to do your work. My locks are not hindering the ability of this company to succeed, to do work, to function. So I'm not cutting it because of that. I ain't cutting it because of that. You got to give me some legitimate reason. And I'm still not going to cut it. I'm just going to move on from this opportunity. But you got to give me some type of, you got to give me better reasoning than that. You got to give me better reasoning than that. I ain't going. I ain't going. That died a long time ago, you know. Again, we stand for something. What they say. You don't stand for nothing, you fall for anything. That's some of our elders. They fall for anything. They do whatever is told to them by the system. By the system. They do whatever the system tells them. They do whatever these folks tell them to do. Nah. It's got to make sense for me. Man, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, I understand it. And that, like I say, that affect me to this day, man. I got trust issues to this day with elder black men. Like I look at them, if I see a black man just carrying himself in a certain light, an older black man, I'm tapping back in. I'm ready to just view this dude, judge this dude. I could be incorrect, but if I see he look a certain type, he remind me of these older black men that was giving me that type of advice, man. I'm ready to go in on it. You know? So again, something from back then that affects me now. That stuff made me, hey, that created some rage inside of me for real. That created some hostility, animosity, you know, that created a real disconnect to my elder, my OGs as they call them. And I couldn't be around for the longest. I ain't had time for that type of energy, man. I ain't had time for it. I ain't had time for it. You know, I'm trying to break curses, break cycles. You know, I'm trying to show the people up underneath me that, man, you could look like this and still succeed and elevate and do all these good things. Like, this image is just not for somebody who's a criminal or just smokes weed all day. Like, I'm trying to change the narrative, man. You know? So in order for me to change the narrative, like, I got to do what I'm doing. So it was meant for me to shift the narrative in regards to brothers with locks. You know, that's part of the mission, part of the journey. You know, so don't discourage me from doing that. Just support. Either support or leave me alone. Don't start saying dumb stuff to me. Because I ain't the one, man. I'm gonna respond, and you're not gonna like what I tell you. You're not gonna like what I tell you. Blow for sure. I was at a predominantly white university with my locks. I was in Iowa, man, Davenport, Iowa, Quad City type of vibe with locks. You know, I'm talking about I'm at a university where it's white folks that ain't never up close and personal seen a brother with locks. That's where I was at. It was like, man, I've never seen these up close and personal. They just seen them on TV. I was in that type of environment with my locks and still was thriving. Still came out of that joint on top. We changing the narrative, man. We shifting narratives around here. I'm gonna control the narrative about this image, not them, not them. Like, no, you know, if we really about that change, man. Again, what they tell you, got to be the change that you want to see. I'm doing that. I'm being the change that I want to see. I'm being the exact change that I would like to see amongst my people. Man, embrace who you are. You know, embrace you. Whatever makes you unique, you know, whatever makes you different, whatever sets you apart, man, be that. Don't suppress that. Don't suppress that energy, man. Don't suppress that vibe. Unleash it. If you don't unleash it, it's gonna be detrimental to your growth and elevation. So whatever it is that sets you apart, man, whatever it is that makes you unique, whether it be the way you dress, whether it be the way you wear your hair, whether it be the way you think, any of this, man, embrace it. They making us embrace all this other stuff out here, man. Embrace you. Be you, fam. Be you. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, man. Don't be afraid to unleash those traits, that energy that make you different. Don't be afraid, man. Don't be afraid to stand on your square, man, and protect what it is that makes you different, or defend, I should say. Whatever it is that makes you different, makes you unique. Defend it. Just like all these other communities defending this stuff. Defend you. Defend what makes you unique, fam. Defend it. I defend my locks with the same energy that these other communities defend their sexuality. I defend my locks the same way. I defend everything about me that makes me the same way. I defend it. You know, I defend my locks. I defend the way that I eat, fam. Like, I defend the way that I work out, the way that I read, you know, the culture that I represent. I defend all of this with intensity because this is what makes me me. And the moment I don't defend these things, and the moment I start accepting the status quo, I'm done. I'm dead. I might as well be dead. I might as well be dead. You might as well dig a grave, put me in it, bury me alive. I'm dead at that point. We got stages of death, man. You know, they say what the mental, physical, spiritual, all that type of stuff, man. Stages of death, man. So when you start accepting the status quo, that's mental death, man. You dying. At that moment, you're dying. You're dying. You're dead. You know, mentally, you're dead. What we call deaf, dumb, and blind. Like you dead. Deaf, dumb, and blind, man. And it's a mental death. For real. The moment you start accepting the status quo and moving like everybody else, that's death. That's suicide. That's all of that. That's all of that, fam. And I ain't with it. You know, so I'm gonna stay myself. I'm gonna stay unique, and the stuff that makes me stand apart, that separates me from everybody else, I don't have no problem unleashing that. I don't have no problem being that. You know, I don't have no problem talking in a way that separates me from everybody. I don't care if you don't understand it or not. I do. Eventually you will catch up, you know, but it's me. I ain't about to sugarcoat it. I ain't about to suppress me for nobody else. If you can't understand what I'm on, where I'm coming from, it wasn't meant for you to understand. It wasn't meant for you to interact with me. Like, straight up. Travis, you say, do some people have a choice to stand on something? Unfortunately, growing up, nah. You know, unfortunately. I mean, you know, hey, you might have some defiant kids, but they get labeled hard-headed. Some of them get put out the crib, like, you know. So unfortunately, and that's why I say a lot of stuff stems from childhood. So a lot of our rage anger, hostility, envy, whatever we just a lot of these traits, a lot of that energy, it stems from back then, man. You probably wanted to do something, or you probably wanted to stand on something as a kid, and your people ain't let you. And now you done became 18, 19, and now you unleashing it. But you unleashing it with the wrong intentions. You unleashing it with the wrong intentions, man. But a lot of stuff, man, was forced upon the people to the point where we have accepted a lot of things as normal that are not normal. We have accepted a lot of things as healthy that are not healthy. So then when you grow up and somebody telling you some of these things are bad, you look at them like, man, I've been doing this for 19, 20 years. Prime example is how we eat. A lot of us was brought up eating a certain type of way. So then when you come across somebody and they telling you, hey man, stop eating that chicken bad for you, you look at them like they crazy. So sometimes it's hard to convince some people that what they doing is actually detrimental because they didn't been taught to do it since they were babies. So then you face that problem of being able to determine or decipher what's actually detrimental versus what's not from the childhood. Some things are obvious, some things not so much. Kinger, you say, how did I get introduced to the culture? First and foremost, it was through music. That's how I first got introduced to the culture, through hip hop music. When you listen to Nas and AZ's joint Life's a Bitch, that's probably where it started for me, I believe. And then from there, I just started tapping into other artists. AZ said we were beginners in the hood as 5%ers, but something must have got in us because all of us turned to sinners. That was from like 5%ers. What? Looked it up, and then that was it. Because that's back in I used to look up the lyrics of that's back when you looked up what folks were saying. So I'm just like, man, what are you talking about 5%? I used to study the lyrics of some of these dudes. And that's how I was coming across book recommendations, cultures, all that, man. I was listening to dudes who was actually talking about something. I'll look up the lyrics, and if I seen something that I did not recognize, I researched it. And then I came across many of cultures. That was the one culture that resonated with me. When I came across that particular bar, I researched it, started picking up some books, reached out to some of the OGs in the community, like online on Facebook at the time. They directed me to my enlightener. That's how that started. But it was through hip hop for sure. Rap music, whatever you want to call it, the same rap music that they try to paint a negative light. That what Lupe say? Hip hop saved my life. It saved my life for sure. Saved my life for sure. Glow, yeah, I definitely read that. Jeff, 1,000%, 1,000%, and that's why that statement. If you know better, you do better. Nope, nope. Like nope, that ain't it. Plenty of people who know better are not doing better. I'm gonna go out on a limb. It ain't no scientific research behind it, but I'm gonna go out on a limb that most of the folks that don't do better, they know what they doing is garbage. So when you look at a lot of crimes and stuff being committed, man, it's by adults, man. They know what they doing ain't right and exact. A lot of the stuff folks doing out here, like they know not to be doing it. I'm in the fitness space, fam. I train people. Man, these people be knowing that they shouldn't have ate this. I shouldn't ate that ice cream at midnight. Like they know this. Man, I shouldn't have. Oh man, I shouldn't have had that. I shouldn't have had that McDonald's at 1 a.m. Man, I shouldn't have had that piece. Like they know it. Like these people know it. Most of the people who don't do right, they know that they didn't do right. They know it. Like they straight be knowing it be. I ain't gonna say it's crazy, but like that's what it be. 99% of the time, when somebody didn't do something right, they knew that what they were doing wasn't right. Oh, Blaze, you already know. Man, listen. I was just bumping Spice One, man. I was just bumping Spice One. Y'all already know. I had talked about my love for Cali music. That's West Coast music and Southern music, man. My roots. So you already know. Man, King, not so much. I put out the word on Facebook. See, I ain't had to do nothing. I put out the word on Facebook. So I still got some people that's doing some digging for you. But you can call that ain't necessarily a negative thing though. You could reach out to them. They probably got all the resources as far as just people in different regions and areas that can help you though. So I wouldn't say that would be a bad thing to do though. Blaze, I'm trying to tell you, you had that McDonald's at 1 a.m. Come on, I don't be having sympathy for it. You know, when your number is going up on the scale versus down, and you telling me all the stuff that you're doing that you know ain't right and exact, I don't have any sympathy. I don't have sympathy for people, man, who be choosing to do wrong, fam. Like I don't have sympathy. I'm not about to sit around crying with you because you made a bad decision and you knew it was a bad decision. I don't have that. You know, and people that know me, they know not to come to me with that because I'm not about to be that person. King Corey, what's happening? I just don't have it. I'm not about to be crying with you. I'm not about to be that person. You ate what at 12 o'clock? You ate what at 1 o'clock? You depressed about your weight? Oh, okay. You causing this on yourself. You want to be depressed. That's what I tell people. You must want to be depressed. Because again, if you want something bad enough, guess what you gonna do? Gonna make it happen. When y'all want to go on trips, when y'all want to go on these vacations, and y'all been talking about how broke y'all been all year, what you do? You muster up the money. You start budgeting. You put in the work to make the vacation happen. You know, you make these things happen. When you want to go to a concert and you've been talking about how broke you've been all year, what do? You find a way to muster up the money. So I'm not about to be sitting here getting depressed with you, you know, and having sympathy towards you because your weight ain't moving in the right direction, all because of your bad choice. You don't want it bad enough. You like this weight that you at. You like your weight going up. You want something bad enough, you're gonna make it happen. Flat out. Flat out. You want something bad enough, you will make it happen. That's what I done learned in life. We want something bad enough, we make it happen. So when you ain't making it happen, you don't want it that bad. You don't want it bad enough. So me having sympathy for you ain't gonna cause you to lose the weight. That ain't gonna help. So you gonna get all tough love. I don't care nothing about none of that. You eating McDonald's and pizza and all that, and you crying because the scale going up or it ain't moving. I'm just gonna assume at this point, at this moment, I'm just gonna assume you like being depressed and you like being overweight, you like being obese, and we just gonna keep rolling. I'm just gonna keep giving you these workouts, but I'm just gonna assume as far as the weight, you like being where you at. You like being where you at. That's where we gonna roll with that for the time being. I ain't about to keep wrestling with grown people in regards to stuff they know they shouldn't be doing. I ain't about to do. I'm not the one to do that. I ain't doing it. I ain't babysitting grown folks. I'm sorry. That ain't the bit. That's not the business I'm in. I don't babysit 40-year-olds. I don't do that one. I don't do that one. All I'm gonna do is plant the seed a few times. That's it. You either gonna choose to act on them seeds or you not. Oh man, I need somebody to hold me accountable. We gotta understand what we saying. Like I feel like that's overrated. Needing somebody to hold you accountable. Fam, if you not holding yourself accountable, a failure to begin with. Accountability first starts with self, fam. Accountability starts with self. I'm not about to be, it ain't about to be a situation where it's like we workout partners and you dependent upon me, right? Like, man, hey, I just so happen to miss a workout. You like, man, Oh no, you missed a workout. I forgot to call you. Like, man, why you ain't called me, man? I missed the workout because you ain't called. Nope. That's not my responsibility. That isn't my responsibility, man. You got to be able to get up for yourself. You can't be dependent upon me to make it to this workout because I might slip up a few times. Ain't my responsibility. It's cool to have that. That's a bonus. That's a plus. But accountability starts with self. At the end of the day, man, I can't make you do these things that you want me to hold you accountable for. I can't make you do those things. Like, you got to get up and still work out. You got to change the way that you eating. Like, you have to do these things, no matter if I'm holding you accountable or not. All I can do is check in, tap in. I'm not going to be with you 24/7, fam. You know, I'm not. At the end of the day, it's always going to be on you. So you might as well forget depending on somebody else for accountability. You might as well not do that. You might as well not do that, man, because you're going to use that as a crutch. Nah, dependency. Don't be that. Don't be that person. Accountability starts with self and it ends with self. So when you working on accountability, don't bring nobody else into that mix. It starts with self and ends with self. You got to learn how to hold yourself accountable. Sit. People going to come and go in your life. So whoever this person is that's holding you accountable right now, as soon as they leave now, what you going to do? Go back to your inconsistent habits and tendencies. So no, you got to learn how to develop these traits without depending upon another person. For real. You ain't about to be blaming me for your shortcomings and all that. No. I ain't about to be the blame. Every time you come up short, it's my fault. Nope. Not at all. Not happening. Hold yourself accountable. Accountability starts with self, ends with self. All the stuff in between, just extra bonus. All that. Extra credit. You know, that's the stuff that's in between. I mean, I got somebody else, man. We work out together, whoop-de-whoop. That's extra credit. That's cool, cool points. But it starts with self, ends with self, for real. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I got to tap out, man. I got to get back up to this gym. I got to make my second smoothie of the day. You know, y'all know how I do it. During the week, I told y'all, man, raw fruits, veggies, nuts, seeds, beans. If you feeling, you know, if you feel a little deprived, throw some beans into the mix. But Monday through Friday, that's how I tend to live, and make sure I get enough water in. But again, you don't have to OD on the water when you getting the fruits and veggies in, because of course, most of the fruits and veggies contain a nice amount of water, you know. But again, raw fruits, raw veggies, you can cook the veggies a little bit, steam them, all that type of good stuff. Nuts, seeds, and beans, Monday through Friday. Make sure you do at least 30 minutes of exercise Monday through Friday. Drink the water, all that type of good stuff, man. That's the regimen that I'm on until further notice, man. I be feeling good, be feeling nice and light, you know, with a bunch of energy living like that, man. So I recommend that everybody strive to adopt that regimen to their lives, man. I promise you. It's a beautiful thing, beautiful feeling. But y'all, man, I appreciate the cash. I appreciate all the love, man. Appreciate the interaction, the dialogue. As always, man. Hopefully y'all took some jewels away from this particular build. Y'all know me. I tap in when I tap in, man. But I'm gonna let y'all get back to enjoying y'all Monday. I'm out, man. Y'all be easy. Peace.